Hey, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. It's kind of bright out right now, and I'm wearing my glasses. My son will not let me wear sunglasses because he wants people to see my eyes. But if I'm squinting, it's because my eyes are very sensitive in the sun. So we're gonna have some fun. I want to give you the top 10 questions to ask regarding, are you building in an HOA? And a lot of times people find home sites, and I get this question a lot lately, is I'm building in an HOA and I found out about this or I found out about that. And oftentimes they'll buy the lot without really knowing, and sometimes not even knowing that it is in an HOA and what that means. So I have 30 questions here that I put inside my program at How to Build Your Own Home, and it's part of the self-managed package. So I took the 10 top ones that I could find that are relative to money, meaning that there's going to be a cost involved because this is an HOA, and some of the costs that you don't see because it isn't an HOA. So number one is, how much are the HOA fees? If you're dealing with a realtor and you see that sheet that's on the MLA, with Multiple Listing Service, MLS, there it is, you'll find the sheet that's on the MLS, and it'll actually indicate the HOA fees. So that's the first thing you're going to want to ask for, is what are the HOA fees? Now there's some HOAs that don't have any fees. I just completed on a build about 2 years ago. They have an HOA there, but that HOA is going to dissolve once all the homes are built. It's only there, the HOA only exists to control the design specifications of the home, to make sure somebody doesn't come in and paint a house fuchsia and throw everybody out of whack. So what are the HOA fees, if there are any? That's a real factor. And number two, is the HOA managed by a third party, or is it managed internally by the members? That's a really good sign that you might want to look into, because if it's managed by a third party, you don't know how long that third party has their teeth in there. They're going to charge 10, maybe 15% on the total cost of all the fees brought in, and none of that goes to maintenance, management, that kind of stuff to the home. And I'm not a fan of third party management. If it's managed internally, that means they're taking the responsibility on themselves, and they're going to save costs, and they're not going to, if you give power to a third party and you also give them the ability to raise fees without your consent, that's not a good thing either. So a lot of issues with regard to that. What do the fees include? And this is a real factor. All right, do the fees include cable and water? Does it include internet? Some HOAs may include some internet with that. Does it include trash and all that kind of stuff picked up? Your sewer fees, meaning do they manage a lot, not utility fees, not your gas and your power, that's relevant to each home, but all the miscellaneous fees with the city and stuff like that. Does it include all those? And if it doesn't, then you're not getting as much for that HOA. They should be managing that. They shouldn't, but a lot of them kind of incorporate that, meaning because the builder or the developer, in order to save costs, they put one backflow device for all the landscaping, and rather than a single backflow device on all the homes. As a result, they cut down costs on the build of the home, but everything's centralized with one location. Same with power, lighting. You'll see street lights that are all on just one power source, and so they all kind of team up to help out that way. Okay. Here's another one. All right, can also deal with costs down the road. Is the drive managed privately by the HOA, or is it managed by the city or county? If it's managed by the city or county, then this is a county road or it's a city road, and they're going to maintain that. If it is a private drive, then you're responsible for the maintenance of that road, and this could incur some costs down the road as well, especially asphalt. This is going to need to be resurfaced and redone every couple of years. All right, and then they're going to assess that fee on you because it's not part of your taxes. How much, this is another one, how much do they have in savings? Ask the HOA how much they actually have in savings. Are they operating at zero? And you know what I talk about by operating at zero, meaning that they're zeroing out their accounts every year and they have no savings. That's not good. And you'll see a good HOA because it actually has a lot of savings. Here's another big cost. Is there a transfer fee upon the sale of the home that is paid to the HOA? I just built a home over here a couple miles away, and they charged $3,000 transfer fee that me as a builder, I had to pay to transfer from the name of myself as the builder into the new buyer, a homeowner. And I thought that was tacky. That was inappropriate, not needed. It puts a burden on people. The people that bought that, because I had to transfer the cost to them, they had to finance that for 30 years. Why do that? And so that's a huge cost, is a transfer fee charged by the HOA. And in some states that may not be legal. So check that out. Here's another one. Talk to the property owners and ask them how they feel about the HOA. How well is it run? Do they like it? Do they know people on the board? Get some feedback from them on how well it's managed. Okay. Here's another one that could also be a big one. And I'm trying to focus on the questions that are cost related, meaning this could be a cost to you. Here's one that a lot of people don't think about. Does the HOA require any inspections of their own, and do you have to pay them to have your site inspected during the course of construction? One of those inspections could be like a cleaning. If you have dirt or garbage that's on the site and they see that, they could assess you $500, even $5,000 on the cleanup of that. Some HOAs are very, very, very strict on this. I've built in some very high-end communities, and some of the costs and fees and fines and penalties that they would impose on you if you did not do exactly what their CC&Rs would actually tell you to do. All right. Here's one that's another cost. All right. Does the HOA require a surveyor to come in and certify the foundation elevation? All right, that could be another $800 or $1,500 you're not even prepared for. I've built in communities, high-end mountain communities, where the HOA actually required the surveyor to come and survey the elevation of the foundation to make sure that it doesn't exceed height restrictions. A lot of homes that are in terraced mountainous communities, they're very, very strict on maintaining a view for everyone. And so if somebody exceeds their elevation, they could be fined that, or they could stop you and not allow you to continue building. All right. And the last one, here's a real obnoxious one. Again, they can incur some costs to you as a home builder. Does the HOA require a mock design or a mock board to get approved before you can even start building? Now, some of these mock designs can actually be a small, tiny little house about 3 feet by 3 feet with all the roof, even a mock window, all the design, the rock, the stucco, everything you're going to put on that home. And that has to be built, and it has to be put in front of the home, in front of the lot, and has to sit there during the entire course of construction. Now, I've built in communities like that, and we spent $2,500 just building that mock little tiny home with all the features we're going to put on the home. Again, these are costs that can occur during the course of construction before they even start construction because of the HOA. Check your HOA out, ask them, do your research. I've got this list with 30 total questions that I have you ask or look into before you even buy the land. This is in addition to the home site selection checklist. If you're going into an HOA, you really need to ask these questions and really get a full picture of the costs. And if you don't, you could be running into some costs you're not prepared for. And I want you guys to be prepared. It's bright out. This is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home. You guys have a great day. Make sure you go to howtobuildyourownhome.com, check out the courses. Take the First Steps course. If you're just thinking about getting into it, take the First Steps course. I promise you, it will be eye-opening. It will really help you understand where you are and where you need to be, and whether or not if you can be an owner builder. You guys take care.